Get ready for a beautiful upcycled project and a really cool repurposed project. Let's get started. I'm pretty excited about this project. I got this at Goodwill. It says $4 for this. It's like a little mailbox, little slatted mailbox, like something for, your garden or outside or something like that. So I want to just start, I got to start cleaning it up. I want to get this little, they got the door taped closed. There we go. Cute. So cute. Look at that. Oh, it looks like the hinges need a little work too. They get them nailed in a little bit loose. They've got a little thing here. I'm assuming it's to hold this closed, but the other piece is missing. They have a little screw here on the side that I think was probably for the flag, which I can work on. It also looks like it was on some kind of a stand, possibly, something like that. But there are spots here that it's got like this sticky, I don't even know, it's like, I don't even know if it's melted candy or what that is. And there's some on the door as well here. So I want to get that all cleaned up, get that all off the best I can. I'm going to use the heat gun, take off the little things here, and get this cleaned up because I have an idea for this. I started by cleaning up this box. By using my heat gun, I heated up this sticky stuff on the edges and scraped that off the best that I could, and then peeled off this wood piece on the front. I tried to be gentle about taking the door off the front so that I could reuse those hinges and not ding that up too much and tear it apart. I then worked on that little piece on the bottom where there must have been a dowel in there, and I took off that top piece where it looked like there was some kind of a clasp to hold the door closed. Okay, I took it down. I used my grinder to grind off this middle piece and to kind of grind down on this, and then I went over it with my sander and made it nice and smooth. Did the same thing on the top. This is really rough wood. I'm sure you can see that. So just a quick little sand over the top of it to make it smoother so paint would stick. I wanted to add a flag back on my little mailbox, so I found this little clip and thought this would be cute to hold my flag. So I just glued that on there because there was no way that I could figure out how to get it screwed in without messing it up. And I wanted to be able to clip the flag, the stem in there. So I wanted to make sure that that still worked. I'm going to leave my mailbox open and display it that way. So I'm just going to glue my little hinges on, and then I will add the screws in as well. I was going to leave the box the way it was and just the gray tone, but I decided to take my antique wax and go over it just lightly and not fully cover it, but I want enough on there so that I can darken it up just a little bit. I want it to look a little more rustic. I have this adorable Americana flag that my friend Chris has made. She also makes the little stuffed crows that you guys see me use sometimes. I need to visit her booth again and pick up some of these really cute little sewing projects that she does because I absolutely love them. So I decided I was going to use this on the side of my mailbox, and I used my little mini press to iron it just a little bit. It was pretty wrinkled up, and I wanted to make sure that you could see that flag really well on my mailbox. So I'm just going to iron it down and get all those wrinkles out the best that I can, and then I'm going to put it into my little clip. I went through my stash of greenery and flowers and found this really cool fern that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. It looks like for $7.99. I have no idea if I got it on sale or not, but I probably just really loved it and decided to grab it anyway. So to build on this great frame that I have here of this mailbox, I'm going to start sticking some of my greenery in here. I'm going to use a few different varieties of greenery. I like these other ones that I just put in with the yellow tips. I think that gives it a little bit of a different shade and something different to look at this little mailbox vignette that I'm making. So I have a nest here that I picked up at some point, and I'm going to tuck that in that little mailbox and give this a sweet little house for a couple of nesting birds. I decided to grab some different colored flowers. I was thinking on some yellows, but I thought the reds would be really nice. I know this gives it more of a summer nod, but eventually summer will get here and this will fit nicely, but it's super easy to change out the flowers, so I thought this would be fun to add the red. It also kind of matches the flag a little bit, so I'm trying to use some colors that will look nice. You also could add some blue flowers in there and give it that red, white, and blue theme for the 4th of July and for this summer season. I got these adorable little snuggling birds from Whatnot, and I really like the color of them, but I just wanted to enhance the older look of them and just dress them just a little bit. So I took a little antique wax, brushed it on some detailed areas that they have, and then wiped it back. And I think this gave them a little bit of an older look to go along with my rustic piece. They're going to have a nice little home sitting in this nest in this really pretty mailbox. This was an old CD drawer that had these little dividers in it that went down like so, and the CDs would sit in there so that you could read the tops, and it had the little pull tab there, the drawer pull, and I broke them all out because I had 4 of these, I believe, and I don't need the drawers anymore, and I really couldn't figure out what to do with them with these inside, so I broke them all out, sanded this down so it's all smooth, it's ready to be painted. Could do something with that, and I sanded these down and then cut them off on the ends if they were damaged at all. So I have a few different sizes depending on the damage on the ends. So I thought I'd make little signs with these, so I sanded them down to raw wood. I'm going to paint them, and I got this reversed word list from my Upcycled Life, I believe. I'll link it down below. It's on Etsy, and it's all backwards because I'm going to try the reverse Mod Podge method where I'm going to paint it, Mod Podge once the paint's dry, put my words down. They'll be the correct way. Once it dries, I wet it, and then I can remove the paper off the top. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to do a few of these, and I'm going to try and fit as many of these on as possible. They're different sizes, different length words, so I think this is going to be fun. I'm going to start with the color Pinecone, and I want it to be light enough so that when I put the black letters on, they'll still pop. So I'm just going to paint these front and back the same color, and then I'll switch over and do a different color on some of the other ones. All right, the next color I'm going to do is Dixie Belle Burlap color, a little lighter color on these. So while I waited for everything to dry, I took some scissors and cut my little words all separately so that they were easy to access and just drop on to my signs when I was ready to do that. Okay, so I got them all painted on both sides, and I've got all of my little words cut out over here. Got them all lined up, and I picked the side that looks the best on these, and then there's one flat side, and this is rounded. So I want to make sure that that flat side is on the bottom so that it will stand up all on its own. And then I'm going to take my Mod Podge and just go across the top on all. I'm going to do them all at once, and then I'll put the words on as I go. So this one's Be Fearless. That one looks, gotta make sure it's going the right way. There we go. And I have Live Simply. Put that there. Try to get them straight. I decided to do the signs all at once because they took so long to dry. You have to make sure that it is completely dry before you move on to the next step. So I wanted to do them all so that I could get all the signs done at once, thinking this is going to be an easy project and I will get these done in no time. Well, once they dried and I added the water to the paper to get it wet, to kind of wipe it off with my finger, you have to be very gentle. I found that it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. This didn't work very well. It left a lot of paper behind, and the more you rubbed to get the paper off, the more it would just take off the ink as well. It seemed to do a lot better on the lighter color and stay, but as you can see the white paper here and there, and again, the more I rubbed to get it off, the more it would just take off the words as well, which is not what I wanted, clearly. So this was a little bit frustrating, and I decided I'd just try all of them and see if it was just something I was doing. And the more that I worked on it, I thought, well, maybe the more it will work better and it will come out right and I'll finally figure it out. And it did not. I was not happy with it. I thought it looked very cheap. It left paper. It left like kind of all these bumpy things on there, and it just didn't look good in my opinion. So out of frustration, I just rubbed it all off, sanded it a little bit, and then went back and repainted everything. After everything dried, I got out my stamps and decided to stamp on these signs and make some really rustic, different kind of signs. And I'm going to use the dry goods company from, I think this is the Mercantile one. And they're just going to be all different kinds, so I can't really tell you exactly what each one's from because I don't really remember. I'm just going to stamp these on and make some really cute rustic signs. I think these came out so good. I'm going to show how I do up a few of these signs, and I'm just going to put it to music so that you guys can watch and see what I did. If you're enjoying this content, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. If you're interested to check out some more of my videos, I have over 300 to choose from, so head on over to my channel and check out one or two. Maybe you'll find something you like. After the signs were dry, I went back in with some sandpaper and just scuffed up around the edges to give it a distressed look and make it look like an old sign that's just been worn over time. I then took some antique wax and went over just the edges pretty much to darken them up where I had sanded back to the raw wood and just giving it that antique look. I think it gave it a nice touch. I hope you enjoyed my projects today. Let me know down in the comments if you had a favorite. And stick around to the end and I'll show you how I would display these cute little signs. So this is the display that I made for my little signs. I just used a old picture frame. I love the shape of this. It's a nice deep frame. It had a nice hardwood back on it. So I just added some dowels to kind of hold it up, and I made them long enough so I could add more if I needed to. This is in pine cone, this is in burlap, and then distressed with little black. And these are the signs. I got the dry goods, and I love this color, and then some of the marmalade with the bee. Got those. Got the marmalade with the strawberries. Thought those were cute. Here's this one here. I just kind of randomly put those on. I think they came out really good. I really like them. And I like the display. It's going to look good in my booth. Now you're probably wondering how you would display something like this. It would go great in a vignette, something like that. Just very simple little touch. You could also put it in a little jar, have a few of them, and just pop them in a little mason jar or something like that, having them stick out. I don't know, I thought it would be really cute looking with this chicken or rooster, so that's one of the ideas I had. I also thought a few of them, just like I said, in a jar, a little greenery, a little willow wreath, and I put some Spanish moss down at the bottom and just have them popping out of the jar, I thought that would look really cute in a vignette. I hope you love this precious little mailbox for these sweet little birds and my really rustic and primitive little signs that are great for vignettes. Don't forget to check out this video on your screen. I know you're going to love it.